Thank you for the introduction. So a few words about me. I started as a Python developer, and I've also done some Java development at one point in my life. I joined WayConnect and Total Energies 4 years ago, and first as a Python developer. Then I got promoted to lead DevOps, basically because I was able to deploy stuff to Kubernetes. No, that's a joke. I'm also have some side project. I'm working as a homebrew maintainer. I have a passion about package management. That's my second job, but it pays way less than the first one. Let's talk about the company. So WayConnect, initially, it's a startup from Lille in France. It was acquired by Total Energies in 2018. We have more than 100,000 B2B users. So actually, Total Energies has B2C and B2B. We focus on B2B. And the two products we sort of sell are Mobility Business and Mobility Business Connect. The reasons why Total Energies, which is an energy company, bought this startup back then was that Total Energies has a fleet management system for vehicles. They sell petrol cards. Nowadays, more and more for EV vehicles. That's the focus for the future. And the startup had a real-time vehicle tracking solution with GPS trackers. So it made sense to have both products together. And yeah, the WayConnect, so it's a subsidiary of Total Energies. We call us the green tech of mobility. Sorry, I have it only in French because we are a French company. So we don't have the logo in English. Let's talk about the growth of the company. When I joined WayConnect 4 years ago, we were 20. I knew everyone in the company. There were some salespeople, business. We had a small call center. There were some devs, the CTO. Everything was easy and nice. Now, 4 years later, we are 120. And of course, when your company grows, your DevOps team grows too. I put DevOps in quotes because you'll see it's not that clear what is the DevOps in the company, or it was not that clear back then. With the turnover over 4 years, there are only 2 people sort of still in the company, me and a colleague. And now we have 15 people in the DevOps team. We have a lot of projects. There has been need for a lot of infrastructure lately. So we had some migrations to do, so the team has really grown a lot. If you look at the distribution of the teams in the company, when I started, that was the situation. You had the Mobility Connect monoliths coming from the startup. So it was managed by the IT manager, which was handing out the computers to the collaborators, fixing the printer, and deploying stuff in the cloud. That was his job. And then at one point, some devs got the credentials to the production, and they were deploying stuff, but sort of half manually. On the other side, the Mobility Business website from Total Energies, they had dev teams in India, and we had also an ops team in India. So really like the silos, separated teams there in India. And then at one point, we wanted to do microservices. Everyone wants to do microservices at one point. And a few years ago, we started to set up a platform team where they put DevOps and devs in the same team. And this was really efficient, and it sort of proved that it was a good way of working. And then the Big Bang. Last year, we sort of changed everything because you had these 3 sort of teams, 3 products, 2.5 products. So we changed a lot of things. The IT manager got sort of promoted, went to a different branch of the company. The devs, some went away. Yeah, we sort of started removing the credentials from the production from them so that they could focus on coding and not fixing stuff on the infrastructure. The offshore team, so we changed it completely over 2.5 months, I think. What happened is we were not happy anymore with the Indian team. We had a contract with an offshore company, so a service contract. So we went to Mauritius and we hired 6 people there. We did the same with 30 devs. So basically half of the company went away in 3 months. It's a nice experiment when you live it from inside. The thing with Mauritius is they speak French. And when you are a French company, it's way easier than to speak with people in India. Second thing is the people in Mauritius, they are internal employees from Total Energies. So the relationship we have with them is really different. You are not in a contract relationship. They are not selling you anything. We are in the same company. So it's way easier to work with Mauritius. The platform team got disbanded. What I wanted when I became the manager of the new team, you will see, I sort of got rid of the devs. The idea was there is so much work to do on the DevOps side, I cannot handle managing people writing Java codes on top of that. So the devs are going back to the dev teams. That was the idea. So yeah, 1 year ago, we created the DevOps team. I put that in quotes because you put into DevOps what you want. The focus was deployment, ops, infrastructure. And we introduced the role of lead DevOps, which didn't exist 1 year ago in the company. It was sort of also a new concept. Emergency measures. I'm a young manager. I got promoted here. A team of 8 people or 6 people, and then there is turnover. Yeah, try to organize this. So I got some help from different people. The first thing we did was having a chat channel, especially because we have a part of the team in Mauritius. So you need to communicate over written means, and you have also time zone difference, which is hard to manage. We set up an email address so everyone in the company could reach us. Before, you've seen there were sort of 3 teams. They had all their own email address. So I advertised a lot this new address. That's a fake one. Don't try it. I advertised a lot this email address so people could reach through one single channel. An organigram. The company is growing so fast. We reorganized the 3 teams. You need to advertise the fact that you have a new organization. So each month, I would just send an email to the whole company saying, here, this is the new organization. There were a lot of, we hired a lot of people over the last year, so I needed to make sure that everybody knew who was in the team or not. And I kept it up to date. The HR team could not follow up with that work. They are also quite small, so I did it. And each team lead does this each month now in the company. With the organigram, I've sent this slide. That's a copy-paste from the slide I sent to everyone. That's the first draft I made. I sent this. I said, that's the responsibility now of the team. This is what we are doing. Remember, I told you I removed the devs from the team. We decided this with my manager. So there is like, we are deploying Java, .NET, Python, whatever, but we are not writing the code. That's the responsibility of the devs. So I made a boundary there. Yeah, and we are doing all of this, or at least we are trying. This allowed me to refuse some requests from people. There were processes in place which have been there for years, and I was not happy about some of them. The business team was coming to the DevOps and asking for statistics in the database. Can I get some reporting? Why? It happens that the DevOps had the credentials for the database of the production. So my rationale was here I can give you read-only credentials, or we will set up a reporting tool so you can do it yourself. We are not going to do this manually each month. It doesn't make sense. Devs were asking to create release branches in Git. Why? Because the ops team in India, they had locked the release branches. That was the responsibility of the ops team actually back then. Said, no, you can now create, I will give you the permission, you can create any branch you want. Just tell us where you want it to be deployed. That's all. You can have your own Git flow, I don't care. And then some devs which had credentials for the infrastructure. They were just like, for example, changing the database size without using Terraform. Then, of course, you get issue between your Terraform state and the database size. And then it was a pain for us to fix it. We have introduced specific roles in the team. So it's a DevOps team, but actually we are doing way more than that. The site reliability engineer. I put the number 1 in there. Actually, we hired him really late in the process. I would recommend that this is the first hire. Why? Because if you tell to 10 DevOps, you are not responsible of the production, no one is responsible. And for me, it's a question about the title. If you say to someone, you are not a site reliability engineer, this gives him more power to work on incident management. He works with the monitoring expert. We have a database administrator. We will hire a second one. There was a myth in the company that you could just provision databases on the cloud, put data in there, and then go away. That's not true. You have to do maintenance. You will have a lot of issues if you let your database run over years without having a look at it. And there are some really good experts out there that will fix things for you. We got an architect for 2 months. He did the architecture diagram. We didn't have one, so the team was lost. There were services running everywhere when I took over. I had no clue there would be so much in the cloud subscriptions. So the architect did this for us. And then the last one, the cyber expert, I don't know exactly the title we will give him. We will have someone full-time for cyber stuff because there is a lot of stuff to do. Methodology. So upper management asked me, what should you do? How should we work? And the idea was all the dev teams are doing Scrum, so I don't know, let's do Scrum. Why not? So a Scrum Master came to 1 or 2 months in the team, and he started up the rituals, the meetings, the sprint planning, the reviews. And then he left. And at one point, there was a slide in the team. I was the lead DevOps, acting product owner. It's nice because you can be the dictator. I don't need to negotiate with the product owner. I'm the lead and the product owner and the Scrum Master. But that's not working. So you cannot do Scrum if you don't have at least the product owner and the Scrum Master. It's difficult. And at one point, when the team size grew over 8 or 9 people, it was impossible because you cannot do a daily meeting with 15 people, or at least it will take 1 hour. The nice thing thus we did is, at that point when we were a small team, we asked people to fill tickets. A lot of people came to the team and wanted stuff from us without having a ticket, so we asked for tickets. I will tell you later that at the beginning it was nice, at the end it was not that nice. But the nice thing is the daily in Scrum is based on the tickets. So you open the board and then you check on what is going on and what needs to be prioritized. Issues. That was my agenda. So that's a fake one, but you get the idea. You have the Scrum meetings. I'm doing onboardings, interviews. I'm going to the architecture committee because I need to speak to the architects. I'm meeting a lot of teams. The red ones are production incidents. Actually, I'm cheating. I put them in the holes, but they happen also during the other meetings. And I was the more senior in the team. I have been there for 4 years, so I knew a lot about the infrastructure. So each time something was broken, somebody would call me out of the meeting, here, you need to have a look. So this is where the site reliability engineer came in, and that just removed 20 hours of work off my agenda, because he could just go to the incidents and he would just do a report at the end for me. That's how we organized things. So I was working 9 hours per day, didn't have time for lunch. It was quite chaotic. So now, the issue was, when the team grew, I didn't have time to write the tickets. I could not be the lead and the product owner at the same time. The ticket, I was told, oh, the team members will just pick up the tickets by themselves or write them by themselves. That didn't work either. The team also did not really auto-organize. I didn't have enough bandwidth to help them auto-organize. I was just sitting in meetings. And the other teams were complaining. Oh, the DevOps team, they are not delivering fast enough. Everything is stuck. And then sometimes we were breaking their dev environment. Of course, we were working. And this caused also some tension. And then it was hard to prioritize those. So we have 7 or 8 dev teams. They all wanted something from me at the same time. It's really hard. So the main issue we saw is, so the 7 dev teams on the right, they needed to go to Jira and me to talk to the DevOps team. That was the process. The devs on the right side were not allowed to contact the DevOps on the left side. They had to go through a ticket. We added a lot of bureaucracy and process to make sure this was enforced. So watch out for silos. I think that's the topic of the day. So I have also a silo picture. How did we fix it? So I've put the light bulb because we are in the city of light, I was told. I looked at the QA team with my manager, and actually the QA and dev teams, you have a QA team with 10 or 15 QAs, and there is one in each dev team. So a dev team is a lead dev or technical lead, a product owner, Scrum Master, because they are doing Scrum. They have devs, a QA. So we said, let's add the DevOps there. So now that's the new organization. So after 6 months of the first organization, we shifted to this one. So the nice thing was, after a few weeks, the dev team stopped complaining that the DevOps team was not delivering. They could not anymore because they had one DevOps in their team, and that was their issue now, if they were not delivering, actually. I could just tell, you have now a full-time DevOps for you. You don't need to do tickets. If you are late with your delivery, that's your issue, the issue of your team. Actually, we have a hybrid solution because I still have the expert roles on the left side, which are sort of not in a team, and then some transverse DevOps, more senior ones, which can help and jump in on the right side if you need a second DevOps or somebody goes on holiday. So I'm just doing the coordination of the different topics and having a look that everything works fine. So the DevOps can go to the rituals of the dev teams. That's nice. They have a product owner there which will write the tickets. They have a Scrum Master which will do the retrospective, for example. I don't need to take care of that. What I do still to keep contact with the team is a weekly meeting where we share the news about who is working on what, and we do a team demo. Actually, the team demo is, it's sort of completely unprepared. You just come there, it's 30 minutes, someone can have a topic here, and you show code. It's not a PowerPoint presentation. Here, I've seen something in the infrastructure, or I had this bug, here is how I fixed it. It's really an efficient way to share process and review. And then I meet the teams once per week to discuss more important topics. The focus for me now is, now that the DevOps are in the teams, I don't have to be involved in all the decisions and priorities and things. I can work on writing documentation for the team, for the onboarding, the documents, and so on. I wrote a document with the team, which is called the 9 DevOps rules. You can have more or less. It's sort of a general document about what is expected from a DevOps in the company. For example, you need to push to production with Terraform. There are things about if the team asks you to set up a new pipeline for a new microservice, make sure the architects validate it, that we will deploy this actually. And it's not sort of a request which is going under the radar and you don't see anything. I'm handling the more political topics. I'm doing the interviews, the management of the team. That's my role. I'm not involved anymore in the minor details. Also, the follow-up is a weekly meeting, so I'm not doing the whole firefighting the whole day. And of course, I can focus on the delivery or the quality of the delivery, but I will delegate this because you have seen the team is 15 people. It's impossible for me to follow in detail, like, is this code well written, or yeah, this deployment is not well done, we should improve it, or is it consistent between teams? I don't have time for this. And then I will spend more time also with architects to reduce the stack we have. We made a lot of choices, and we have a lot of technologies, a lot of programming languages. We need to reduce that because as in the slide in the presentation before about metabolism, I think that creates drag with time, and you need a lot of experts in a lot of different things. In conclusion, I was overworked. I've shown you my fake agenda, but it was really like this for weeks. I really tried hard to find a solution myself. Should I really go to these meetings? Can we do something else? Actually, I think it was really an issue with the organization. Watch out for silos. So putting the DevOps in the dev teams was really a smart move, and it's really efficient. Scrum, my take on that, I'm not saying Scrum is good or bad. I'm keeping that reflection for myself, but it didn't work for us. That's all. And if you go above 8 team members, it's impossible. It has been 1 year now, so we changed the organization once now. Change takes time. And I wanted to talk about time zone difference issues and distant teams. That's a problem I have not solved. Maybe it cannot be solved, but I want also to focus some more energy on that over the next years. That's all. So thank you for your attention. Here are some links to my social media. And I think we can go to the questions.